A little known fact is that when the Nintendo 64 was made, they were actually trying to make this game, but ended up with a console instead. Welcome back to the Cube Factory Automation Nation. Good to be at it again, trying to see what we can accomplish here today. We're going to be expanding a little bit more and cubing it up. So I feel like I've learned a lot since I first started. I mean, I look back at my recording for episode 1, and it was kind of funny to see like the first 2 buildings I placed did absolutely nothing. They were completely out of range, just like the raw mechanics of the game didn't really line up in my head so much. So getting a chance to now kind of think about it a bit more over the course of the day and now come back to it the next night, I'm feeling more confident that we can get a lot done tonight. It's a very interesting game, more minimalistic than Factorio for sure. No sprawling stuff. It's kind of all contained in specific grids based on limited resources, but like no, I think overall it's been pretty cool and pretty fun so far, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. So we'll keep it going. Where last we left off, we had recently picked up on our first few hell gems. Those are contained in the deep recesses below 900 meters in these big lava cubes. Yeah, you can see here. Right now, it'll need some clicking help to really punch through that. My resonators are not necessarily going to do the trick until we get this hell gem destabilizer, which we actually have the resources for, so I guess I might as well upgrade one of these. But first, I guess I should talk about the overall design before I get into that, because I'm not sure that we're going to stick with this format. I've had a chance to think about it a little bit more, and one thing that I really felt was a limiting factor was it just felt like, first, before we had the pump, it felt like the pumping took too long, so we just really wanted to focus on just one cube at a time, because pumping at a bunch of little spots wouldn't really make that much difference. But the other thing I didn't fully understand at the time was the resonators are kind of an area of effect. If there's like 3 cubes, one here, and here, then this guy's gonna hit all of them at once. And I don't know if that consumes more energy or not, but it definitely gets more value out of this machine, where the pump does things one at a time. The resonators hit multiple. At least that's the impression I get from the little particles that fly out when there's more than one cube in the radius. So my impression is that both the destabilizers and the resonators both have kind of equal value in terms of positioning. And you want to kind of maximize that. So that does change our design scheme a little bit. We're not necessarily just wanting to force one cube. It's not necessarily optimal to do so. And so we're going to want to mix it up. So I was playing around with it a little bit, and we can go ahead, switch over real quick over to here. The audio might cut out, but yeah, I've been kind of spreadsheeting a little bit. Obviously, what else is Google Sheets good for but for mapping out the layout of a incremental automation grid. But yeah, I was able to kind of do my own research a little bit, and I don't know if there's even like a wiki up for this game or not, but what I wanted to do was avoid any kind of spoilers. I wanted to see all the content firsthand. So what I ended up doing was just watching back my own video and thinking about it a bit more and getting some more information. For example, I now know what the converters do: the vat, the sump, the oxidizer. Their ratios of what they produce and what they provide is right here. That's interesting because I did not really expect that it would be such a different ratio of like red to black, for example. I expected red to be a lot more valuable than black. It's only double. And then how much you have to expend to get the yellows or the blues or whatever. But there's lots of takeaways we can discuss there. But first, I just want to talk about design layout. We were laying out, like, I think it's this one here. Yeah, D is the current design where it's like one block getting hit by 3x4. And I guess I could probably change the color of like one of these destabilizers, make it a hell destabilizer. I'm not sure if I'll do like half hell and half not hell. It really comes down to how many gems there are as things go deeper. But that only takes us so far. It's probably one of the most efficient in terms of how many machines it requires, which is great for the start because you cannot afford that many machines. So only getting 7 machines, which is just adding the resonators and the destabilizers up, not really counting the fans of the pumps, which are fundamentally necessary for each node. But yeah, the number of resonators, destabilizers, it's a good low 7, but it's about half the value that you could get if you're running something like this, where you run 3 corners. And so, for example, this resonator can hit both these spots, and that's pretty nice. And then just overall, you're getting more free money. The limiting factor here is there are only 3 fans. So if we feel it's not pumping enough, then we'll want to bump it up to like a 4-fan model like this one here. Yep, that's basically the change of strategy here. Also trying to map out if it says that the next extractor channel thing is able to hit a wider area. I assume that's a 5x5 grid instead of a 3x3, which is 2 away instead of 1 away. And if that is the case, you know, it's going to be tough to really optimize it. I played around with a few options here. I'm liking E right now, and seems like it has a lot of potential. I'm just adding up all these 10 different squares and what they're looking like after we get kind of look through that. But we'll think about it a bit. For right now, you know, I've just been thinking about the game, and I want to keep playing. Probably going to get take some time to even get the resources to really start building all these kind of pie in the sky ideas. But I do like the idea in general. The one thing I wasn't able to figure out just from recordings is understanding better how these little setups work in terms of the cost factor. We're consuming resources every time one of these machines runs. Is it per second? Is it per cube? Is it per click? I'm not really sure. So I'm kind of curious about it. But yeah, we kind of want to mess around with that too. So anyways, yeah, we're looking at what we have. We have a lot of red, and we don't really need it, so we're definitely going to want to be running a few of these oxidizers. So I guess the first thing I'm going to be doing is getting a few of these, because as far as I can tell, it's going to be, after 1,000 meters, it's going to just be almost exclusively red coming out. I don't know if that's true, but I do want to try to make sure that we are able to turn that red into something useful in terms of building these machines anyways. We also unlocked a few new machines, so I can go over that real quick. Already mentioned we have the Excavating Channel. Excavates a lot of resources fast and places them further around itself. And the Hell Gem Destabilizer, which is 625 times power if there's a green Hell Gem inside. So you want at least one of those for anything going deep, for sure, so it doesn't get hung up on that in the whole automated process. But then there's also a few new things here. What's the radius of this? Again, it's only stuff that's right next to it, which is, I feel like that if it's a tower, it should affect more than just that small radius. But if you're going to recycle a lot of stuff or some big stuff, that might be useful. For example, any of this Hell Gem stuff. Very expensive. You got a fill director, indicates machines ready for filling. So this is going to be like an alarm saying, or maybe like a little bubble hovering over things saying, hey, fill me up. I demand fuel. And that's all well and good. Look, we're a little short on yellow, so we can get some of that going. And now we're just have a little bit of blue. Maybe we can get some more pumps going as well. So all that factored in, we'll just kind of get all this rolling. All these converters rolling. Yeah, so that's next thing would be the Hell Gem Injector. It swaps a random resource from an adjacent cube with a Hell Gem. If there is none. Has 32 charges if provided with 32 Hell Gems. And 64 purple granitite. Underground silo automatically refills nearby machine 16 times. So okay, this is going to be already putting in more automation where this refills machines. It makes it so that you don't have to babysit them as much. You don't have to come back every couple of minutes and reset them. Whereas which means this can be more like an idle and an incremental type of game. But yeah, this injector is interesting. One thing that I do find interesting about it is that it actually enables you to kind of go for the full Hell Gem Destabilizer. What it says here is it requires 1 Hell Gem to operate. Additional, here it is. When a Hell Gem is present, it gives the bonus. Otherwise, it provides no benefit. So it's worse than a regular industrial destabilizer then. And so I was worried, okay, I have to think about how many destabilizers I want, but or how many I want to upgrade to the highest degree. But if it's able to force at least a single Hell Gem in, wow, I like that, all popping off at once, very nice. If you're able to force a Hell Gem in, then just exactly one hell gem through this injector, then maybe you could go full hell gem destabilizer. Hard to say for sure until we really see it in action, how it functions, because the tooltips are a bit limited. Like, that's why I looked up the ratios. I like looked at my resource difference after each one went through, because if I just went based on feel, I wouldn't really know the value of these different conversions, and if I'm losing something out of it, I don't know. Yeah. Anywho, so yeah, we're doing pretty good right now. We've just got these 3 things going on. Might have enough for another pump soon, just the minor pump, not the major. This extracting channel here, relatively soon. So if I keep these going, it'll pump blue into it, and if I keep these going, it'll pump black. Cool. Is there really anything that I need to be working on right now? I have the new designs. I want to get to them. I'm just making sure there's nothing else kind of in the way, so to speak. And then I have to kind of think about how do I want to approach it. So I can do one. I can definitely, now that this is in the hell gem zone, I want to put a hell gem destabilizer right here, fill it up with 64 and 1. Hell yeah, hell gems. Give them hell. All right, here we are. This guy needs to be filled up. And all that stuff. Again, I probably should have, before I spent so much money on this, I really should have been planning out how I want to change things. But as far as I can tell, this quadrant, we're not going to be able to make some hyper-efficient mirror of things stacked up next to each other. So we're just going to be able to work with what we have. Looking at, I guess, this little, not cheat sheet, but map that I made, we can kind of, I can think where I want to put things as I, and just enjoy the machines continuing to pump and us continuing to make progress. I mean, where will the day take us? Are we actually going to see what the spooky cursed stone up to the north has to do with anything, or are we just going to maybe find a new resource? Who knows? For now, we are wanting to just get more out of this operation. If you just think about it, it's kind of hard to see it the whole diagonal. I like the top down of my spreadsheet a little bit better, but yeah, if we can take advantage of 2 corners on this, if I can put something here, then that'll be kind of nice. So let's start with that. Let's see how fast it is with only 3 fans. If it's half speed or if it's like 75% speed is probably my estimation. Okay, yeah, the pump is still super fast. Okay, you can see obviously we only have 1 resonator on this one, so it's going to take a little while longer, but we're going to fix that here. So now that we have that open space, what we can do... Oh, this is the one I should have hell gemmed, right? I should have hell gemmed this one, not that one. And now we're kind of feeling bad. We could do the recycling tower. This is, I think, where the recycling tower is super useful. So we put it here, and now we can recycle this at 90% value, which I don't know if it gets all the hell gems back, but at the very least, all the other stuff we put into it. It costs a red. Okay, that doesn't matter at all. Red's very easy, actually. And then we can, recycle this in theory, but let's hold it for a second. Let's just make sure we're doing what we want to do. Let's go ahead and make another one of them. Where'd it go? Hell gem destabilizers. And put it right here. Which is already kind of going against my design, but if I just flip-flop these 2 in my head, that'll be fine. So I'll want 2 resonators on the bottom here. Oh yeah, I can use the key thing, okay. So yeah, I think we can get this thing out of the way. I don't think I need this. Why is it red to recycle? Wasn't it blue before? I guess it's like your most recent resource. I'm of the opinion this shouldn't cost any specific material. There was a point in the playthrough yesterday where I actually could have lost the game, just been completely stuck because I planted something in my last cube spot, and if I didn't happen to have a blue, then I couldn't get rid of it. I feel like the 50% or 10% penalty of resources is plenty enough. I don't think it needs a rock. Why is it blue now. Is it alternating? I don't know. Don't want to get too distracted here. We're just going to focus up on our gem. Oh, fill up this boy. That makes it much faster, right? All right, very cool. Okay. So the main point is there is going to be a purple and an orange here, like a destabilizer and a resonator in the middle here. And then this guy's going to have 3 resonators and 2 destabilizers at least. And this guy's going to have 3 and 3. Cool. So here we have, it has 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This one's already satisfied. What am I missing here? I feel like I should have something to put here. Oh, because I didn't have something to north before this. I had a fan. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to demolish this back here. I'm going to get a fan here instead. So I can just copy this over. After we break this rock, put a fan there. And we're going to have to move this pump too, which is annoying, but we're making progress, and that's what's important. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2. We need another one of these right here, but it is built off of a regular destabilizer. So back to ancient materials. We don't need to upgrade it or anything just yet. We'll just have it up and run. So this is good. This one needs more regular destabilizers. See how long it's taking? If it doesn't have a hell gem, it takes forever. So let's say we want 3 of those. One, 2, and make those industrial. So obviously it's a bit of a waste that we're not able to like double up on these machines here. And if they do kind of cost a resource per second, then that's definitely substantial, but I think it's based on how much they get used. So I'm not as worried about it. So our pump low, what's going on here? We need resonation. Cool. All right, keep that going. So yeah, we're, again, need to keep our resources flow, and we'll keep doing this to convert the red into something more useful. We have a lot of black, though, and we don't have a lot of yellow. So we're going to make these vats, make some yellow for us. I'm just going to, I mean, I could call this Elmarine, but it just doesn't stick in my head the same way. Check, make sure everything's going fine on the side here. Cool. All right. So yeah, we're building up. We gotta get another resonator when we can. That'll be right there. We just need that yellow to spawn pretty soon, or for that to continue. But we're getting lots of red now. We got 2 different things functioning with the red now. A lot of little changes to make. A lot of little tweaks to make it work, but figure it out. So we'll just side by side this real quick. And yeah, so we want to put the last block, the last empty block here. We'll have to move the pump because we want it on the corner. These corners are important. So we'll unfortunately have to sell this, and that will cost a decent chunk. 1,000 yellow definitely adds up, but we'll make it back. We'll make it back over time. We just got to keep these big ones flowing. Another little thing I noticed is these beta pylene oxidizers. I don't like the tooltip here. It says to burns red to produce black and trace amounts of other elements. So from that descriptor, you'd think that it's producing trace amounts of other elements and is not really burning them. But in fact, it requires 64 yellow, 16 blue, and it returns about half of those for those respective amounts. So it's actually costs red and blue, or blue and yellow, which isn't the most intuitive thing, but it's okay. I'm going to continue to pump the yellow up, and then yeah, whenever I feel comfortable that we can make a pump station, we can make the move over to here and start continuing to build that up. So let's go ahead, queue this. Don't really like that. It doesn't have any destabilizers on it, but it's not too many clicks. We're going to be putting our reverse valve here. So click it through, make the reverse valve, upgrade it to an auxiliary pump, upgrade it to a pump station, Fill the pump station up. We're doing great. Clicky, clicky, bam. Let's go ahead and make sure we're doing the necessary maintenance on these guys. Keep this rolling. Plenty of upgrades coming our way very soon with this. Obviously, I wish I hadn't really put all the vats here, but what can you do? We have enough extra yellow. We can probably put a few of that up. We still want to keep the blue rolling for more AO1s. Though at the end of the day, it seems like black and green is what we really want the most of. And we're actually almost there on the black side. Obviously, the green side's a very different story, though. All right, so we've got destabilizers. Well, we're going to have 3 of one kind, 2 of another. So this guy's seeing 1 destabilizer, and then we're going to put stuff on the back row here behind it. I don't feel like this also like hides things the way I'd want it to necessarily. It kind of just blurs everything more than anything. I guess if you do this, nah. Anywho, I'm gonna give it 2 destabilizers in the back here. We're gonna make them industrial, and then we're gonna fill them up. Cool. Need more yellow to keep that flow. We're starting to optimize here a bit. And burn some more red. Cool. I think we need more vats, honestly. These vats have a lot of potential value, and I've got a lot of stuff to work with. Why do they have a grid, a little square? I'm curious what that actually means, but... We've burned all our black for now, but we're going to get some more when this oxidizer pops. Yeah, like that fuel alert will help a lot because we're already getting so many machines that we don't actually know what... We hear the sound effect, we know something's out of fuel, but you have to like check everything. It takes a little while. That guy. I'm reluctant to give him the pump, upgrade that pump, because I think because it's on a corner, we're gonna have to change things up. So that might be a mistake, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. Anywho, we need resonators here. We don't have any, right? This guy's just chilling by himself. 1, 2, 3. So the good news is 3 fan pump speed still seems super fine. If you just at least have... Oh, hell gem. Cookie clicker mode activate. The double tap on the mouse. I like it. Alright, these guys are gonna pop. This guy's about to go in. So what do we want? We want resonators here. Where are my resonators at? There it is. And there. Alright, so all this is fueled as far as I could tell. And this is basically my optimal setup. This is twice as fast as what it was when we left it. This single AO1, what it could contribute, which is great. That said, we probably do want to upgrade this to a hell gem breaker as well, so this doesn't get stuck on that. So do we have... We probably don't have the black stone for that. You need 24k, so that's gonna be a lot. But we're burning a lot of red. So whenever we see green spawn here, we'll have to manually go through it, or we'll never break it. But soon we'll have the big smashy hell gem destabilizer, so... There's no one destabilizer, I think, that would hit all 3 of these. Now they're too spread out. But that's okay. I did make these. Now I want the black stone, which is how you get yellow, so to speak. So we'll chill for now. It's more to keep this stuff up and running. Now, yeah, what's more important to me? I think just upgrading the little pieces rather than saving up for the hell gem upgrade is probably going to be more productive overall. I just have to check in every once in a while on this one. We're getting the hell gems, and that's what's important. Alright, so I can see this one a little bit more clearly than I can see that one. So this one's kind of like our new guy on the block, our intermediary, so I'm totally fine with him running at half potential for right now. I really want to fix what's going on over here. So first thing I'm noticing is I need to get rid of this fan because I only need 3 fans, and I know that I need the corner. From there, I've got, you know, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on the destabilizers. Is that excessive? It should be 3 and 3, right? Because I'm going to get rid of this fan too. So I'm going to get rid of this fan. I'm going to get rid of this destabilizer. And then I'm going to make a new fan over where the destabilizer was. So right there. All right, we're fixing the build. It's starting to get nice. Put some black in there. It's going to be great. Or some red in there. It's going to be great. Still very musical. I like it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the sound. Hopefully it's not too loud as well. I've been playing around with the settings a little bit. It does look a little loud. I'm just going to turn it down just a bit just to make sure. All right. It like stacks maybe additively with each machine, so I don't want it to be too loud for anybody. We'll keep it at that. Anywho, yeah. Making some good progress here. We're definitely going, once we're not at Hell Gems yet, but we're about 100 away, so it's going to be relatively soon for that. Let's get more red. So what we need instead is going to be a lot of the destabilizers over here. As we're able to afford them anyways. There's a green hidden in there somewhere. I'll get it out. No big deal. Yeah. A lot of people seem to be commenting this game feels a bit slow, and I do think, well, that is definitely true. It's designed to be kind of a, you know, start from scratch. It feels like a manual clicker until you start really optimizing it. I do feel like part of it's just going to be coming down to builds. If you improve your builds a bit, then it's going to make a big difference. Like, I've literally doubled what this guy produces automatically, and that's going to take a lot of the manual work out of it. And there's a lot of hell gem spawning in this particular spot, which is something we're not currently prepared for, but it'll be okay. It'll work out. I wonder what the range of this refueler is. What is it called? Hungry Ground Silo. It says nearby. If it's a 3x3 grid, I'm gonna hate that so much. But this doesn't actually increase your hell gems from an adjacent cube with a hell gem if there is none. I feel like the idea there is you really want to get to this level 3 destabilizer because 625 is so ridiculously fast, and as you get deeper, it might be harder to break the blocks. So I think the idea is that you only want hell gem destabilizers, and you want to continuously fuel these hell gem injectors to provide that option. I don't currently have a setup in mind for that. Well, if we can, since we can afford it, let's say the range is just the one. Yeah, already we're seeing maybe the going too hard in the Google Sheets wasn't necessarily the best, because that's a wrench in the works. If we need that next to each of these blocks, then that's going to change how we approach this a little bit, I think. As it stands now. Maybe, I mean, we could always get rid of one of the fans. It really doesn't feel like the fans is going to be the limiting factor for us here, so, you know, we'll see. As I was saying, I'm trying to improve this side over here, so let's keep on moving with the... we'll keep these injectors rolling. We are gonna be getting the resonators and the destabilizer upgrade over here. So he's hitting 1, 2, 3. He wants to see 3 resonators, so we're going to be farming that up pretty soon. We need some more yellow. So let's go ahead and fill these up now that we've got plenty of black to work with. And in a little bit, we'll be seeing that work out. Yeah, so if I take this fan out of the build, I can then have injector for these 2. And then I just need to sacrifice like 1 resonator for an injector on this one. Not the end of the world. I think that's still gonna leave it close to optimal, if not optimal still, without doing a bunch of unnecessary math. As soon as these pop, we can build our next thing. Until then, we're gonna just chillin' and farming. If I thought ahead a bit more, I could think about how I want to mirror the setups. I had an idea that it would be mirrored on this side, but there's not enough space there. Could it be mirrored here? You can at least take advantage of this line of machines right here, I would say. We'll see. I can already afford the underground silo. Alright. Yeah. So that's good on the outskirts. It's really good on the outskirts. It does hook up to these vats as well, so you can just kind of automate the refill process, but that's not necessarily always a good thing. I would say it's, generally speaking, it's a good thing for these guys, but not necessarily for all these. So we'll think about that a bit more. I don't think I need to incorporate it into the schematic so much as I just need to take advantage of it where I can. I mean, I'm thinking, the more I think about it, like, if I am injecting hell gems into these things, it's going to do a lot of work, isn't it? I mean, we're just going to cruise through this stuff if it guarantees that there's a hell gem in each of those. And then, but I do need to make it so that the hell gem injector then has a silo next to it, because it's going to run out pretty quickly, right? It's putting, like, every 32 blocks, it, in theory, has emptied out. And then it goes back to my inventory. I'm not losing it as far as I can tell. But it costs purple. I guess I am losing the 64 quinotite, but it seems worth it for the extraction speed that I'm going to get out of it. I'm going to get so much extraction speed in theory. But yeah, that means it needs an underground silo next to it, because I'm not going to be clicking it every 32 blocks. So that would subtract destabilizer, which means this would be in range of 1, 2. I mean, if they're all going to be Hellgem destabilizers, then I would say it's actually more cost effective just to put the more resonators in, because they don't need to be, you don't need to upgrade them to tier 3 yet. So I think that's still going to be my best option, to put a resonator there. Okay. So I need a lot of yellow for this, so we're going to keep on pumping the yellow, keep on putting the red in. Oh, this guy stopped. Okay. I think it's going to be here, and then one more here once the yellow pops. It's not the yellow that we're missing. It's actually the black. I don't know why I didn't realize that resonators take so much. I bet it's increasing in cost. This did not cost that much before. So it seems like every machine is like scales based on how many you have, to some extent. We'll keep an eye on it when we buy our next one, but it does seem like that. Hey folks, Editor Blaze here with a little bit of hindsight commentary. It does in fact work that way, and ends up being way more impactful than I initially perceived, to the point that I probably should have stopped the recording at this point and reconsidered my entire plan for how to scale things up I'll have more on this later, but suffice it to say for now that the delays caused by the ballooning building prices ended up making this portion of the playthrough take a lot longer than I think it should have. About 2.5 hours from start to finish, and that's why you're going to see a little bit of fast forwarding from time to time so that we can kind of keep a good pace going. Yeah, we definitely need a hell jump destabilizer up here. And since I'm not confident that one's going to stay, I'm going to put it here. Build it up, and it'll be nice and fast. Pop, pop, pop. I mean, if I'm not... Yeah. I still kind of want to put the injector and the silo here just to kind of get a good understanding of how they work. Just in case. They work differently than I expect them to. But I'm not too sure. So yeah, resonators cost him more and more each time. Let's burn some more red. Yeah, I like the idea of like the AO1s doubling in cost and like you only being able to get so many central node points. But to make every machine have diminishing returns feels a bit excessive to me. I don't know. I mean, I can get 90% of this back. If I decide I don't like it, I can still get 90% of it back with that. So, I'd say as soon as we pop off with enough red, which will be coming up very soon, let's just get the Hellgem injector. What the hell? Yeah, and like the diminishing returns cost of resonators, obviously I have a bunch of them, but like... It means that I'm just not able to progress the factory in at the rate I wanted. Like, I wanted to build this whole thing out. And I thought that, you know, once I get double speed here, double speed there, that things would start coming more rapidly. But does not seem to be the case. It seems to be more about upgrading what you have and not just, like, massing a ton of specific things. It's about making sure that you make optimal use. And that's another reason not to really get too invested in one spot. If we just want to really work around the big channel thing, then we do that, right? All right, we have enough for this. So we break the fan. We put the Hellgem injector there. We put the Hellgems in where we can, and now just kind of is constantly swapping them in and make it so that they break in like one hit because of these this bad boy. Now I'll have to keep in mind these Hellgem destabilizers require one Hellgem to operate, and so we'll have to think about how much resources is actually taking away from us for us just to mine red faster. But it is fast, I'll tell you that. Did I hit green over here? Well, I'm gonna have to help it out. This might be our manual zone for a little bit. There we go, that'll help a lot. So we'll fill this up here. And now it pops off. Nice and easy. Cool. I'm into it. This one can't be mined at all because the resonator shortage. Hey, I'm back. So the thing about compounding price inflation is that if it's even like a 20% increase from machine to machine, by the time you've built over a dozen of them, you've multiplied the cost by more than 10. And that becomes very unsustainable as you continue to build and try to expand on this. That's unfortunately the game plan that I brought into this, and I realized kind of too late that's not going to work. So what I should have been doing is selling a lot of the buildings that I built up to this point and restructuring it in a way that builds around the individual buildings as much as it does the resource channels. Yeah, I think we got a good amount of use out of this big green guy. Spending 64 blue to speed up that process to that extent is probably, I would say, worth it. Okay, we're getting a lot of red. We can crunch a lot of it. So does it require resources for the field director? It doesn't seem like it needs like ammunition or a fuel to continue, so maybe we just get that eventually, but I'm still going to save for the big channel, excavating channel more than anything. And I think this might be a temporary thing. The hell gem injector thing might be temporary, because like if we start getting hell gems consistently, then we don't really need to worry about the if it has or doesn't have one. Unless we get so far that we get past hell gems and they stop spawning, and then you still want to take advantage of your hell gem excavators or destabilizers. Tricky. Trying to think ahead, but you never know really what curveballs this game will throw at you. You know, it's the joy and the curse of a blind playthrough. It's just like, where are we going with this? Hey guys, one last thing I wanted to say from a hindsight perspective is that I got a chance to math out the cost increases for most of the buildings that we have available here. I'll show that on the screen right now. It's a variable amount depending on which building it is, and there's no indication on this on the tooltips about this other than the new cost once you place one down. I really do feel like this is a trap that a lot of players can fall into, so if you're just starting to play through, hopefully this helps. Yeah, my game plan was to optimize these, all three of these, to build out around them, but I think the diminishing return changes that game plan a bit. I've got to save my, effectively the machines that I can build to coincide with this new thing, and I might end up even selling some of this stuff. Yeah, we'll figure it out. As long as the tech keeps moving where there's not too many, I don't have to sit on too many one machines. Maybe I have like a level 1 version of things. Maybe I hang out with my D2s for a little bit. I guess the silo, limiting cost to the silo. If this keeps on costing 10% more too, then yeah, we're right back where we started, you know? It's all good though. Just trying out different things. But if that hopefully explains why I'm resting on my laurels a bit. If I didn't put refill the hell gem injector, I could have actually gone to the channel now, but it's here for a reason. It does provide value. We'll need a little bit more blue. Need a little bit more black. Probably burned too much red there, but we'll get what we need soon. We got 2 full sets of red punching, so not too worried about red resource. That'll always refill pretty quickly. Yeah, so now we have to... let's take a look at the channel. Let's at least maybe not place it. Maybe we'll just put the extract thing back in, but... places them further around itself. I'm seeing another 3x3 grid, man. I don't know what to think about that. We'll wait. We'll be patient. But if that's... I mean, all around itself, further around itself. Unless you, like, put a couple on the extra on the diagonal, it's gotta be a 5x5 grid in my head. We will see. Crunchy rock, go crunch, crunch, crunch. And you can't take that away from you. Not for all the crunchy rocks in the world. So if the time dilation effect is continuous, then the guy he's texting is going to be like an old man by the time. He'd be texting an AI replacement of his friend by the time this whole plot line comes to a conclusion. Would be friends with an AI? I think that's kind of a weird question, because, like, if... friendships are about relationships, but so many people have such transactional relationships that, like, if you don't have, if it's like not a close friendship, it's just like somebody you hang out with and play a few games with and you talk to once a month, whatever, then that's kind of replaceable by a computer to an extent if it's coded the right way. But then there's the, you know, really I'm the best man at your wedding kind of relationships are completely beyond parallel. So it's just like, it really comes down to the connection. But yeah, if there was like, if somebody invented a multiplayer AI where they just said like, yeah, I'll hang out, I'll match your skill level, I'll socialize with you in a weird GPT language model way, like it's not real, but does it have any value? I don't know. Weird questions here late at night looking at fake text messages in a video game. Alright, 128. We made it here. Let's see what this baby can do. Why is it red? I have what I need. Don't do this to me. Where's it go? Does it go next to the big rock? Why is it red? I'm just gonna put it down. Does not work. Does not work. Game. It doesn't explain why. It doesn't give like an error message. It's like, you can't have 4 fans. Well, I didn't know I couldn't, or I can't have 5 fans. Okay, well, I didn't know I couldn't have 5 fans. It's your job to tell me that. Why can't I put down my excavating channel? Does it go on a specific thing? Does it go on super spooky rock? As we go into the void of silence here. Spooky rock's too far. I don't want to get lost. Okay, I don't remember being this far. I remember being a little further than it like felt it needed to be, but where does Spooky Rock go? Now I have to go back down, and I didn't even find Spooky Rock. It's so quiet out here. I don't know if I like it. Excavating Channel. Where does it need to go? Where does it go next? It's an upgrade of an AO1? I bet that's what it is. But it wouldn't tell you that in the tooltip. No. It's just here. It doesn't really fit as like an upgrade to an AO1 because of complete Spooky Rock. Oh, that was a Pokemon song. Oh no, Zelda Overworld. Same music, obviously. All right, AO1. Yeah, it's an AO1 upgrade. They don't tell you, but you know it. All right, so what I want to do is want to get some more blue because I want to set this aside in its own space. I could also recycling bin this. How much blue does the recycle cost? Recycle tower is 128. Well, it'll reduce the cost if I just get rid of this, which I'm not really a big fan of. Do I think we'll get like 1,000 back? If I think this is worth 1,024, then 40% of it is definitely worth getting the disassembling tower, the recycling tower for. Allows machine disassembly, which returns all the resources. There can only be one. Sure. Anyways, yeah, so I'm just gonna break this setup because I'm not a big fan of it. And that'll actually free up like some resonators and stuff like that I can use in a more useful area. Like, if anything, the fat that I need to trim is these like non-optimized machines. So I'm just gonna burn this all. Sorry. I should have probably put the recycling thing down before I got rid of that one. Oh well. These don't have much value. Recycling tower for this AO1. See how much? 1455 goes to 2376. Okay, so like 900. Yeah, so 10% of the 1024 I paid. Cool. I just have these blocks in the middle of nowhere, so let's go ahead and get rid of these. All right, and the whole point of that was to now have plenty of blue. These guys are going to be done shortly as well. Now we have all the resources we need to make our cool thing. So, I'm just going to move slightly towards Spooky Rock, over to here, and I'm going to upgrade to the Excavating Channel. Hold the bad boy down. That's what I'm talking about. 5x5 grid starting at surface level. So we're not going to have the hell jump stuff really get into it just yet, but that's fine. All right, now I guess we want to see the borders a bit, so I'll try to clear the ones on the interior, which it won't let me because of game UI. Anyways, we know where it's at. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my idea of a 5x5 grid, and we'll see if it still holds up. So if we switch over to that real quick and think about this, we've got a pretty effective setup for making sure that we're crunching some good rocks. The pump, even with the pump, I don't know if you can have more than 4 fans in this kind of pump thing, but it seems like our pumps are pumping pretty quickly. With 10 blocks, we'll start to feel it a bit, that it is a bit slower than we want it to be, but maybe that justifies bringing it to 5 fans. I don't know if that's even an option. But what I gotta say is, if we think about this in the long term, what about these injectors? What about the injectors and the refuelers and stuff like that? That's important, right? Feels like it. Because I can't have too many of them. If I have like 8 of them, then if I put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like if I put 6 of them down, then I feel like I'm going to have too much diminishing returns on this whole cost system. Everything costs more. So I'm trying to think, like, I could put some on the outskirts. I can make like a green, for example. And I was thinking like, okay, I can just put one here and here and it'll feed these, and then I'll put silos here. And then suddenly I'm making like a bunch of these machines and it's going to cost a lot. Whereas this, it'll hit 3 spots if we clear out this, make this a blank. Is that more effective for what we're trying to accomplish? I don't know. I loved this 4x4, and we have plenty of room for adding and removing stuff. I guess now that I think about it, one thing that I was assuming was if I put this here and here, that's optimal anyways, but it's not, because 2 of these will hit 1, and you don't want that. You want that it to hit 2 or 3 into unique squares. So in that context, like, you can put 1 here and 1 here more so, and that's a bit better, right? I would rather like look at it like this. So that's hitting 1, 2, 3. This is hitting 1, 2, 3. That's covering most of it. And then we could have like basic, like more regular operators here, or we could actually change up what this half looks like and do like something like this instead. Focus on these 3, and then this guy can hang out, but he's not really going to be all that useful. Yeah, it really comes down to the machine cost. As that adds up, I don't want to be pumping so many resonators into useless spaces, you know? Because that's what it kind of feels like. It's not about optimizing around one 5x5 grid. It's more about optimizing, making sure every machine that you place is as impactful as possible, because each one you place is one that you can't place later. It just gets infinitely more expensive. So I'm kind of the idea that I want these Hellgem injectors to hit 3. And if that's the case, we want to go like this. And then these guys would just be something else entirely. They would not... not be as relevant. Is that appropriate, or should I do a twofer down here? Because I could do like another one here, And I'm curious about that. And then the silos, and yeah, it gets weird. This game is interesting. I don't necessarily like the way that the puzzle is posed to us, how it challenges us in the exact way it does, but it still is something to think about and something to approach in a very specific way. All right, so first up is I'm going to clear out some useless stuff that I don't need. Is this useful? Some of this is, some of this isn't, right? Let's make sure these are fueled. I think all this is useful enough. No, I'm not going to worry about too much. I'm not going to silo it. I'm not going to make it more than it already is. Do we have injectors? How long would it take us to actually farm these injectors? Like right now it's 48. It's going to get worse from there. Do I really just want to recycle this? Try to optimize elsewhere? Because my game plan is to try to put like multiple hell gem destabilizers out that way, but I don't know. We've come this far with it. Alright, I got a lot of black, so I might as well start filling these up. And go from there. Yeah, I think the diminishing return stuff is kind of throwing me for a loop, where I was like, okay, I know how I want to expand this. I have a really good idea, and then, well, a lot changes. When every single building you place doesn't just have to be worth its own cost and worth the fuel that you put into it, but it also has to just be worth its own existence compared to placing it somewhere else. Like if I only have 100 resonators in the whole game, where do they go? You know? It's different. So that's why I'm kind of resetting, building up here. So what do we know for sure? We know for sure that we want a reverse valve on a non-diagonal. So we'll just go ahead and put that here, upgrade it to an auxiliary. I can make a pump station. The second I fuel this, though, it's going to put cubes that I don't necessarily want in my way. From there, we do want some fans. At least 3 fans, I would say. Bare minimum is 2 fans for sure. So we'll go ahead and put those out there. Again, not on the diagonal. This 100% is how this should go. Because, yeah. From there, though, we could go a lot of different ways with it. I like my original setup. What's the most hell gems I could get in one injected? I mean, in theory, we like that. We like all those popping off. So it goes out to the furthest location is going to be 2 diagonals out. Yeah, from this position. So it's going to be here, here. So if I didn't put the auxiliary pump there, then it could be like 1, 2, 3, 4, but 3 is pretty good. 3 is pretty realistic for how much these injectors are going to hit. So I think I'll go with that modified design, at least on the right side. And go from there. So let me finish up with the coolers here. And if we have to reevaluate it at a different time, we'll do that. But, yeah, for right now, I'm going to go with what I had. And that means down 2 and to the right one will be one of the big greens. Then we'll need some resonator action. Here and here. I mean, it's kind of silly to get the big green down already. This thing's at 139 meters. It's not gonna be that big a deal, but yeah, we'll need it at a certain point. So I'm planning on putting another big green top right. I don't have it. I don't need it right now. We can just fill it with a fan as a placeholder if it lets me. I don't even know if it lets me. It does let me put 5 fans in the radius now. For some reason it didn't yesterday, but maybe that was for the AO ones. So anyways, we'll block this spot off here. Save that for later. We will then look at the stabilizer here. Try not to burn everything all at once here, but yeah, we're gonna need to fill the slots, right? Need some more yellow. That's where the vats come in. The all-powerful vats. When we get some more yellow, we can probably run these a few times as well. Yeah, it's the resonators that are messing with me in terms of cost right now, right? It's mostly just the... I mean, even the black cost is, you know, tossing 21k blackstone adds up for sure. It's not just the yellow. I can get one more resonator, but I kind of just have to be okay with what I'm looking at to an extent. Yeah, as we expand it, we can always fill it with other stuff, but I think we're just going to turn it on for right now, once we get our yellow. Sorry, I didn't mean for this particular part to take so long, but we had to kind of reassess how we wanted to approach this. Like, in some ways, I'm kind of considering demolishing these resonators just to make like a super setup right here. Which is weird, because, like, this is doing great. This is doing great on its own. This guy's getting hit by 3, this guy's getting hit by 2. It's nice. But... yeah, I don't know. Okie dokie. So those popped off. We get our resonator. We'll fill the machine, and it can start pumping for us. And then yeah, resonator right here, and on the corner as well, if we can afford it. It's only hitting 1. I want to make sure that each resonator has a lot of value, where it's hitting at least 2, right? At least at this stage of the mining process. How does alt help at all, honestly? Alright, we're going to put it here. I think this is right. And just fill these up nicely. And it's going to be hitting like 4 different blocks here, so that's... or 3 blocks at least. As we continue to farm and grow. Well, you know, just like it said, it is providing exactly that. It's providing this increased radius, and the new designs definitely help. We're just having to think a little bit further ahead than we expected. That's okay. At the end of the day, we're still going to be crunching some blocks. We're still going to be making some profits. We're just trying to see if it's the right pattern, the right optimization. Yeah, it all just requires way more of a scale than I think I was expecting in terms of resources. because of how much it costs. Yeah, but there's like theoretically a point in the game where creating machine generates a negative amount of resources. Like the amount that it's going to mine in a realistic amount of time is less than what you paid for it, as the cost just balloons. So, I mean, I've definitely played, like, obviously I put so many hours in different incrementals. We look at like cookie clicker and stuff like that, where as you get to your like 200ths of the same exact machine, you're paying millions of times more than you were when you started. And I get that. At the end of the day, though, these cubes are 4x4x4. There's 64 blocks of something, and I just feel like that will eventually balloon to no good unless we get a converter of us. If we get resource number 6 and it converts at a super hyper efficient rate for this leather stuff, then maybe that can alleviate it. But we haven't gotten there, right? So we'll just keep trucking away. How far down? We're already at 756, so we're making a lot of progress already. Taking down to the health gem level. And then we're gonna have to upgrade a few of these destabilizers into hell gem destabilizers, of which we only have 3, so cost should be still fairly neutral. We don't need to bank too much red, so we're going to try to keep these machines flowing where we can. At what point do we want a silo? We can afford it. Where's the best place to put one? I still want one next to this, but that's a little too forward thinking, perhaps. In theory, it should go here. So I fill it up with 2 and 2, and it'll just slowly make sure that these candlesticks are capped off. I'll have a resonator here for it to fill as well. Until then, we'll just keep on crunching away. Yeah, I'm curious how the hell gem scale. Are we going to see them like non-stop for a long time, and we don't need to worry about the injectors, or are they just going to be kind of like a rare, like a diamond pop-up, and then the injector needs to be working full-time to maintain a good dig rate, good blocky, crunchy rate? We will see. So I don't... This guy's not actually... This guy's actually a negative value right now. I wish I hadn't fueled him. Okay. Yeah, he's a negative value right now because he's... I don't have enough for the... Hell Gem Crunchers. Hell Gem Destabilizers. Just need a bit more black and we'll be there. And hopefully we get that soon, because right now it's actually costing too much. It's slowing my process down because I don't have a way to break that. So I have 2 options: are to wait for the... I just need a little bit more red and we'll be okay. Because I was gonna say I could sell this one here, because I don't necessarily need it. But yeah, no, we'll just wait, and we'll very soon be able to upgrade this one. That'll cover 2 of our 3 blocks, and this guy's going to be a bit of a pain, but it'll be okay. Okay, so Hell Gem Destabilizer right here. We should have the fuel for it. We'll see. Oh, the silo's got it covered for us. All right, so now it's actually pretty efficient. This guy's going to crunch it really fast. It's going to be good. Whenever the resonators proc, they should be like breaking this apart. You can just see this. This is actually insane. How fast do I get these red blocks? That's crazy. That's great. I like that. Which is the whole idea. But this also means that this guy's running out of blue faster. Man, whatever. We're just going to crunch away, get our next destabilizer that much faster. We need 82,000 black for that. Then we can go over here. We can fill this guy up. Fill that guy up. Kind of just go around the room, make sure everybody has what they need. Yeah, visually, there's great visuals for if they have fuel, but it's only if they're not when it gets all cluttered, you can't really rely on visuals. So that's where the alert, the fill director, will help, presumably. But yeah, I've seen games kind of run into this issue where they don't just encourage you to put a lot of stuff in one space. They'll like force you to put more in one space than is realistic. It's like, okay, well, I played a tower defense game. It's like you need the slow field, you need the tower damage amplifier, then you need this tower to be in this radius, and so, then you need this one which causes the enemies to take more damage. And so like adding all that all together, it just becomes kind of ridiculous. And if you do it right, you get the payoff, but it kind of just gets a little more tedious that way. Where I feel like all I want is just like the silo to have a 5x5 radius instead of a 3x3. That would make a huge difference for me, you know? But we out here. We're doing pretty good. And who knows? Maybe we're unlocking level 2 silo later, which will do just that. And it's kind of, it's the payoff, the patience, the persistence. I am nothing if not persistent in a lot of cases. I leveled 3 hardcore WoW warriors to level 57 or above, only to be met with death and sorrow. But I kept going, hit my goals, pretty happy with it. Doesn't necessarily always make for great content though, so we'll keep an eye on that. We're an hour and 19 in. Last episode was about an hour and a half, but I'm still happy to keep going. Maybe we could do like a 2-hour playthrough this time. Try to get a little bit more further along than we did before, since we're seeing how to use the stuff that we unlocked last time, but we are kind of still at the same cap we were in terms of technology from here last time. So the implementation of it's nice though, and seeing that in play is pretty cool. Alright, we definitely need to get this guy upgraded with the Hell Gem destabilizer. Keep on when I say defibrillator, that doesn't make any sense at all. And that's just going to take some red conversion at this point. We need 20k red. The rest can go explode. And yeah, we'll probably just transition one more. So we're making plenty of red right now. Fill all that stuff up. Get that guy going. It's gonna be great. Yeah, so the Hell Gem destabilizers are way more important than the Hell Gem injectors. The Hell Gem destabilizer you need in order to not get completely blocked out when it comes to that. This is 3 fans, or I think I have more fans over here. 1, 2. So I kind of feel like just the showing the model should just be the case regardless, because this doesn't mean anything to me. Like I'm not even clicking on the cube. I'm mousing over behind the cube, but it's okay. This is pretty fast though. These are crunchy red rocks. It's so funny. I have a black and blue like quantitite spawn from the same extractor right next to like a red hell block. Just because I didn't clear it out from the beginning. You could actually like make a little museum. You could collect one from each layer of the earth. And get like a 100 meter one, a 300 meter one, 500, so on, and you could just have that all collected. If you're responsible enough not to click where you want to save them. Okay, still need those blacks. Is this not popped off yet? It already has, so just go ahead and throw more in there. A little more blue could help. And then we'll continue what we're doing. Yeah, this is 64 red every time I click once because of the injector combined with the destabilizer. So I like that. It costs a little bit of blue, but it's so speedy. But then again, you do have to refill it often. So we'll see how close we can get to a silo pretty soon. We have 36K. Is that more important? So I wanted to have... I'll just look back at my little cheat sheet here. So if that is the big green there, then the... Yeah, this is probably the spot that is the most free to use. So we'll do that. We'll fill it up. And that way this guy's always going to be full. And it just gets to click through. Bam, 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 you know? One more resonator here. I talk about, like, the value of having, like, one here versus one there. I do believe that I really just want to move a resonator over here just to get the little the digging ticks faster to burn through these really quickly. I think that has potential value. So recycling tower actually coming in clutch because you can just pop it over here, and at this increased rate because of the higher cost, just pop there. I don't know if it remembers how much it cost originally or not, but I'm gonna assume that it costs the most of whatever you paid last. Either way, we now have enough for a resonator where we want it, presumably, and we're going to put it right here. And this guy's going to keep building it up. Then we are, once again, saving for that destabilizer, 80K and 20K, so we need to probably drop a few reds off. So you get 8,000 black for 4,000 red. Or no, let me look back at my ratios here. You get double this. So yeah, if you put in 8,000 red, you get 16K black back. So 2 of them will give me 32, which will put me at like 88,000, which is where I want to be. So then we'll have to kind of refill on red, but that's happening pretty quickly, as you can see. These silos are pretty awesome, though. I like the silos. Because otherwise, like, these things are kind of a pain to fill. And that's by intention. It's like, they're very powerful when you combine the two different hell materials together. But you gotta juice them back up every once in a while. Only having to refill silos makes a big difference, for sure. Well, this one hits 3 spots, so it's actually probably the best. So let's do this one. Keep it going. All right, so these are gonna transfer pretty quickly. I need another resonator here now, since I only have 1 in range of this guy. Oh, there's 1 right here. Perfect. And now we're crunching. Now we're crunching blocks. All right, for all the misgivings I had, the build works. It's very efficient. Just a little bit of manually cookie click action over here, and or we can just get rid of this guy or not. Is this 1 block or 2 blocks that has the grains on it? Man, does it take a long time without the... Yeah, I guess as it goes deeper, it's just going to increase the durability of these things, because this is... It feels like basically impossible without the hell jump destabilizer. So I think I was barking up the right tree. These injectors are clutch, because then you can go full hell jump destabilizer. We just have to kind of wonder what's next. Are we just going to continue to build off of what we currently have? Are we going into a new area sometime soon? Who knows? All eyes on the big spooky stone, though. Whatever that is, that's going to take the most power to break. Could you inject? Could we inject a, It's kind of a expensive experiment, isn't it? The idea of, like, oh, we could inject a hell gem into it and then break it at 256. Destabilized. And we're just burning so much purple, I'm a little wary of spending too much of it. But for the most part, we're doing just fine. So what do we need for this? 16,000 red, and I can make the fill director. Which inevitably is going to be a smaller radius than I want it to be, right? It's going to be like... There's no way it's a 3x3, though. It's actually useless if it's a 3x3. I can click in a 3x3. I don't need a bubble to pop up over one of the adjacent machines. I'm hoping it's like a screen wide, but I think like Stardew Valley scarecrows, they're a good radius. You don't have to put them down everywhere, but you put them in periodically to let you know what's going on and to prevent bad stuff. But this is... There's no way. There's no way that this is a 3x3. Like, a silo is better. A silo is objectively way better. And for some reason, significantly less expensive. There's no way that that's the actual radius on that thing. I'm assuming it has to hit more than that. There's just no way. Maybe it's not what I think. I can always refund it. Let's check it out. Okay. What is this? It doesn't seem like this has a radius at all. Which is amazing. Okay, so is it just a one-time? It doesn't say you can only make one of them, right? Because everything else it says there can only be one. But it disappeared from the map, so... I guess we're good. Man, I was gonna be so annoyed if this was a radius-based thing. No, it literally is global. Okay. That's a bit better than 3x3, it's global range. But yeah, it just kind of gives you an indication. Hey, this needs help. This needs help. I like it. It's not gonna tell me about the vats, though, right? Apparently it is. Apparently it thinks that the vats should always be running. I mean, these ones should be, for sure. Yeah, I guess that gives you more reason to put your vats away from everything. Because otherwise it's being confusing information. It's not really going to be that helpful. Okay, material stream. Channels resources via stream. So the keyword channel... I mean, this looks like a radio tower. It looks like it's communicating them. But maybe it's like a vibrations thing, because this is called a channel. Extracts, excavates. Extracting channel, extracts. Excavating channel, excavates. What does this do? It channels. Well, these are both channels, but is channeling as a verb the same as channeling as a noun? Via stream. It's weird. Man, the speed at which we do 32, you can see, I have to refill this every 32. So we're breaking 32 blocks, times 64 for resources. It's adding up. Okay, we got another resonator. It's supposed to go here, right? Double checking, yeah. Next to a silo, so it'll get auto refilled. Great. I am now running all of my converters. It's beautiful. I can follow my mouse cursor wherever it goes for like 1 minute. Hey, look, I've refilled everything that needs fuel. I'm the best. See, these are getting so many hell gems, maybe you don't need the injectors anymore. Maybe you just need the hell gem destabilizers. Alright, maybe I go back to my original methodology and don't worry about this green stuff. Because they have hell gems so often. My only concern is if I do all hell gem destabilizers and there's one that doesn't have a hell gem in it, there's no destabilization. They do nothing. And that's not good. So I kind of feel like this guy needs to take a break. Now it's like, okay, these are consistently green. Do I once again try to... This recycling tower stuff is so weird because now 4,000 is not a lot. I can do this over and over. So what I do is I do recycle this, then I recycle the recycling tower, then I rebuild the recycling tower. Just like, why not just... I don't know. There's gotta be a different way to approach that in my mind, but... Okay, so for right now, all this is green. All this is hell gems. I don't need to worry about the green. I can go with my original plan, which is good to know. The only limiting factor now is the resource side. Yeah, so I feel like I really want to get this destabilizer somewhere else. This guy's 1753. This guy's 1266. Do their hopes and dreams not matter? Is it all to be consumed by the AO2? I don't know. Can I get that material? Okay, I can get this now. Full distraction. Channels resources via stream. What does this mean? Again, I can just sell it back. I don't have to be perfect about it, but I really don't understand what I'm actually looking at, and I don't know how to optimally place it as a result. Stream. I'm like trying to interpret it, but I really don't know what I'm talking about. It's doing it. What's it do? It just clears the clutter on the screen. Here, streamer tower upgrading increases streaming speed. This still doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, it looks better, for sure. But what does it... Okie dokie. If it's just a visual change, then, like, one could argue, why doesn't the visual look like that in the first place? I feel like I need to place a hell gem destabilizer in order to place a hell gem destabilizer. Am I wrong? What is this nonsense? I didn't put it where I wanted it to. There it is. Okay. One of those is correct. At least. So, destroy this one. Upgrade this one. Industrial. Industrial costs enough that it no longer have hell gems, so... I only need 31,000, so I'm gonna fill up the boat here. A little bit too much, but again, we're bringing in a lot of red, so it's okay. Let's do a quick reload of everything. Yeah, the visual has changed on me when I refill these, so I kind of hesitated, thought I didn't refill them in actuality. Not feeling that. Alrighty. Hell gem destabilizer. As soon as this pops. doing her thing. Just keep crunching away. So these are becoming more and more like solid hell gem, which isn't that useful. I can't convert hell gems into anything, and there's nothing that requires that much hell gem. All these are like 100 or less, right? Maybe, like, obviously the Excavating Channel has cost a bit more, but yeah, I don't need 18,000 hell gems game. I don't, what do I do with these? There's gotta be a converter for hell gems soon. You gotta pay attention to your little... this is a very creative solution for indicating. I thought it'd be like little exclamation points, but this is much more like, even if it's off screen, you can know what you need. It'll help you out with that. So, definitely an interesting solution. This guy doesn't even have a purple next to him, does he? So we definitely need some more resonator action up here. I'll probably want another destabilizer to the right here. Get that going. We're crunching some rocks. Don't know where it takes us though. I do want to see like a goal though. Like, I kind of feel like that's another thing I'm missing is like at this stage, I know something's coming in the future. I'm on a track, and I'm starting to kind of master the current tier, but like Factorio, you can just like look ahead and be like, okay, blue science requires this stuff, so I'm gonna have to start figuring that out. Now I'm kind of like aimless. I'm like, okay, there will be something in the future for me to work through, but I don't get the chance to chew on it for the moment. And there's some surprise and discovery aspects of incrementals where it's like, oh, you just hit this new phase, you just prestiged out to whatever, and that's cool. But I'm not feeling the sense of wonder at this particular moment. I'm more wondering why I'm slamming the Incredible Hulk into the ground with my brick system. I do like that my design flow is going to work though. Yeah, so I think the idea is you're supposed to make the most of this by mirroring it. So you're supposed to put the, like, two of this exact same setup back to back and use the resonators on both sides. And that's something that I wanted to do. Like, I could easily get a grid of 4 of these. Like, hey, one here, 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 and work around that. For now, though, we're just kind of... So, like, this feels like we're slower than we were 20 minutes ago. In an incremental game, you always want to be going faster. Sometimes you'll kind of plateau out a little bit, and you'll be, like, spending as much as you're gaining, and that's fine. But you shouldn't ever feel like you're getting less. And in this case, that's what I feel like, because the red is useful and the green is not. It was shiny and new, and then I got enough of it to make what I needed, and now I'm like, okay, now what? So, what's my next trigger? 100,000 green? Or do I need to go up to that rock and try to inject it? That's the only other thing I can think of. Yeah, that's very fast now. Jeez, that's fast. Wow, we're actually rapidly approaching that 100k mark. now that we have all this stuff going. It's like 40 to 50 greens in each one of these bricks. We're flying ahead. Yeah, I'll go to 100k, and then if that doesn't work, we're injecting spooky curse stone with some hell gems and seeing what that does for us. There you are. You say that now, but what if I inject you with a hell gem? A little anticlimactic. Honk 64 times for no reason. Love it. So it's in... Hollow Rock, it looks like it's been there for a while. Get him, hell gem. I think we'll go ahead and, yeah, we'll recycle this side of things, recycle this side of things. And we'll see from there how that goes. What was that sound? Oh. Right when you think nothing else is going to happen. Chromalite. We have a new resource. Mined down, how low? 6,200 meters down. We found... Where'd it go? Wait, what? It was here, now it's gone. What happened to it? Did I inject it into a thing? Uh-oh. I left that injector next to the spooky rock. Where is this? I had one, now it's gone. And I'm curious where it automatically would have gone. Random resource from an adjacent cube with a hell gem if there is none. Where did it go? I got it and then it's gone. Chromatite. None of the others have been like that. Steam achievement says what? Hot glass. Yeah, I'm curious what could have happened to it. Yeah, my best guess is that it injected it with the hell gem injector, but you'd think that would just apply to hell gems. Either that or the silo put it into something, and I'm not sure what it would be demanding it, since I haven't used it yet. But we did get, you know, whether or not we have that one, we still can get more. And we got 2 new buildings, which is what we've been waiting on. New tech tree update. There it is. Making the sound. Visually, I'm not seeing it yet, but maybe it becomes more apparent later. I mean, we're making really good pace with this thing. It feels like it hasn't had to slow down at all. Channel cooler upgrade triples the flow in a source channel placed next to it. So, super fast. I haven't seen any of these blocks like take longer to mature, so I don't know if it's really necessary, but that's there. And then we got the Entropy Resonator 2. Crushes the resources 3 times faster, requires Chromalite to operate. Entropy Capacitor. Same thing. Crushes resources at the moment they appear on the surface with 600% power, but just once per cube. So it's like a first strike kind of thing. There's one that is consistently more powerful, and there's one that hits it 6 times, and then waits for the next cube. So it could do nothing. And it does require more power. And they still haven't... Okay. Stores 2 chromalites, preventing their fission. They dismantle themselves. Okay. So, if they can randomly break... and I need to store them, I get that. I think that's a cool idea for a mechanic, but one problem. I need 16 of them in order to store them, in order to make the storage vessel. So if they can randomly like have a half-life or randomly dissolve and just disappear in my inventory, I need to farm 16 of them just to hold on to them. I feel like there's a catch-22 here. What is happening? All right, I've got 2 of them. So I want to try to make sure I have resources enough for this to make it as soon as possible. It looks like I do. So we're just going to try to burn through to get 16 so we can hold on to these, because apparently they have some fission problems where they randomly disappear or dissipate. That, or there was some weird bug with the first one. I don't know. But the containment vessel seems to indicate there is something going on with them, where their number goes down randomly. But even that, again, diminishing returns, how many vessels can you make? Soon it's going to cost 32 Chromalite to hold 32 Chromalite, and then what? Did my number just go down again? Alright, let me make sure I'm fully fueled here, making the most of my machine work. It's not all about clicking. Oh, yeah, I'm going down. Okay, so yeah, we gotta hold on. We have to get at least one of these containment vessels so that we can actually use this stuff. And theoretically more, because some of these buildings require a lot more than 16. Well, can't stop now, right? I probably should have stopped a while ago, but now we're here. I was going to be like, yeah, I'll just reposition everything off the recording and hop back in, and we'll have a more efficient factory to grind it out. But right when we're about to pass that off, we find something new. Decaying. They decay into other cubes. At least they're not wasted. They turn into other stuff, which is cool. I mean, I have way too much green. I was really hoping I would get a converter that could turn green into anything. I'm just here in Greensville. I mean, how many reds do I have, for example? I need to get rid of that stuff. Alright, getting closer to 16. Oh, make it quick. Oh no! Okay, I have to power these. Oh no! Now this is a good reason to have a silo. To give this constant power is very important. Consumes a hell gem. Forever? Or whenever fission occurs, it will go down. We'll keep an eye on it. But at least we're not fissioning anymore, which is good. Okay, so now we can kind of breathe a little sigh. Like, okay, I feel like I can operate now without freaking out. Because I was constantly, like, worried about losing some resources. Oh, no, I see them. They're very shiny. But now they're going to be less hell gems, which is interesting. So there's going to be less hell gems in here. Do I need that injector plan again? If hell gems stop spawning in these, are they going to be really hard to break with the blue? Is the blue really hard to farm and only is really farmable next to a hell gem? In which case we'll have to do the combo. But I guess we'll find out. Eventually we'll just hear the blue sound a lot and not the green sound. One thing I do like is that if I can upgrade these entropy things, the resonators, then theoretically these will become less expensive. So I can get more resonators in general because I'll have 3 different kinds. So it's not just like, oh, this one's better than this one or vice versa. It's also like I could have 5 of these, 5 of these, and 5 of these instead of 15 total, which makes a big difference. Let's make this containment vessel. And right here, and fill it up. So we're not just like losing, I think it's like a % chance every few seconds for it to just dissipate into other resources, which is, you know, at least it's something else. Yeah, I need to get converters so that we can stop the fission from occurring, so we can actually store these up. Because unlike greens, these are actually useful. So yeah, hell gems, kind of a letdown a little bit. I have 161,000 of them. And there's very little to do with these things. Other than put them back in so that you can harvest stuff faster. But even that's extremely expensive, resource-wise. So yeah, not the biggest fan of the hell gem tier, but this chromatite tier seems pretty cool. Chromalite seems actually pretty nice. I think the hell gem tier is designed to be like, okay, you need to optimize. You need to find a way to get to 7,000 meters or 6,400 meters or whatever. And so that's like it's like a teaching opportunity, like a growing opportunity. Just got enough for the last containment vessel. All the blue stuff coming out. We'll drop this off here so we can get a good critical mass of chromalite to start actually upgrading our stuff. Get the better resonators, which ironically I'm more excited about reducing the cost of these extremely expensive resonators. I mean, compare this. I have 15 of these, so my base entropy resonator actually costs as much as the upgrade, with the exception of the chromalite. That's absurd. But anyways, these do end up burning the hell gems very slowly, so we do want to put a silo here. Which means we need more. Always something you can keep doing. There's progress to be made. It's definitely not an idle in the sense of like walk away and hands off. It's definitely an incremental as in like power multipliers and stuff to force multipliers, yeah, to make systems optimized. So my two options for approaching this are designed with the hell gem injector in mind and get the hell gem destabilizers up and running, and then they crunch through the stuff really fast. I could do that in like one section, but I don't really want to do that in all the sections. I feel like in general, if I'm just getting better entropy or better resonators, then they can handle it. Like the capacitors and the resonator 2 sound pretty good. There it is. Silo up and running. Okay. So that will help a lot because it will allow me to make sure that these are constantly maintained for a long time. 16 refills, and these things seem to last for, I don't know, 10 minutes for each hell cube, so yeah, it should definitely extend their lifespan by quite a bit. And I'll just have to make note when this silo is low. I mean, if I'm super paranoid, I could even put a silo on each side, but I don't really think that's necessary. So, yeah, here we are. We made some real progress. It was a gradual one for this tier, but we see the light at the end of the tunnel. We now have 2 really cool new items to play around with, and we're digging ever deeper. From, you know, 1,000 to now digging down to over 7,000 meters over the span of a few hours. We are crushing it, guys. This is awesome. Alright, well, that is going to be it for this episode. Going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in for a bit longer one, and we'll check it out a little bit more next time.